Today's video is going to be addressing the elephant in the room. Yeah. I can't do this. I can't do this. Hello. This is where it all started. Drone flying all started here for me. Actually behind there is where we started flying our first FPV drone, which was my brother Brandon, obviously. Right here in this area we started flying our own Mini, and we also helped Wesley fly his Mini as well. So yeah, this is what I would like to call the field of dreams, where all the dreams began of flying, but now the inevitable has happened. So today I would just like to take you through the course of the day that I'm about to describe. It was a day that I chose, okay, I'm not gonna vlog, I'm just gonna enjoy the day of flying. And so the way this is gonna work is I was filming an Instagram reel that day, but I wasn't planning to film like a full scale video. So I'm just gonna narrate in the background. So initially, me and Wesley got tired of flying like out here in the open air and like in like forest areas. More so I got tired than Wesley. Wesley still has a really big interest in flying in like these kind of forest areas, nature. I, however, got tired of flying in this luscious green. I wanted to challenge myself, and challenge myself I did. So we planned a trip going from here in Richmond Hill all the way downtown. So we had two main locations that day. We had Hyde Park. There was a nice little opening. I'm not sure you guys know, but there's a nice little circle with like a maple leaf in the middle, and it looks very majestic. And I got the idea of actually filming that from the air, which is not as original as I thought. So we boarded the Viva around 11 o'clock. So once we hit Finch Station, we made our way all the way down to Bloor and Yonge, transferred over, I think east or west, I can't remember at this point. I'm still really bad with the TTC and the underground subway stuff. So we made our way to Hyde Park. We got a bunch of clips. It was a blast, okay? The first flights and the second flights, every liftoff that we took from there, a-okay. It was like nothing could go wrong. Now as we depleted the batteries, we ended up being like, okay, we're thirsty, so we're gonna go get some drinks. And as we headed back to Bloor and Yonge, we decided, okay, we might as well just do the remainder of Pokemon Go, as the community day was only up until 2 o'clock. And lo and behold, I got myself a shiny Hydreigon, which I'm very proud of, 98 IV. Our next location was to go to the CN Tower and Scotiabank Arena and that train yard that's right outside, that big open area. That was our main goal to capture that day. As I don't know about you, but if you see a circle, it's just asking for you to orbit it, you know? The shot where you're just like circling around it in a very nice and smooth manner. That was my intention for that. And so that train yard was my pickings, of course. It was everything I could ask for. It was urban. It had a lot of features. Like there was so much stuff to capture and record there, as there's things happening left, right, and center. We started setting up, and I got cocky. I just went straight up. I didn't even wait for the home point to be settled, and lo and behold, I got this shot, which was half decent. I would say these are most of my best shots that I've gotten so far with the drone. And this was a shot that I gotten, which was like a little pull-out shot from the center. Very nice. Of course, color graded by me. I'm still a newbie at color grading, so bear with me. From that shot, I started transitioning to the CN Tower and the Scotiabank, as there was a lot of lineups for Ripley's Aquarium and stuff like that. I managed to fly over, get a little bit of shots of people walking, and as if that wasn't enough for my thrill and excitement of flying, I decided to try and attempt the orbit shot around the full entire train yard, half circle, semicircle, whatever you want to call it. This was my ultimate wrongdoing, as I took, I think, 3 attempts. The first attempt, which will be displayed right now, I managed to go from the front all the way maybe to half of the circle, and then I messed up my sticks and it kind of jerked, and I was like, oh, okay, so restart, let's go back to the beginning, let's start at the beginning in front of the circle. My second attempt was the same shot, but I was trying to actually do the full circle this time. Okay, so I started from the beginning and I worked myself left all the way to maybe 3/4 of the circle, and then video interference or RC interference and video interference started happening. I started losing connection, and you would think that as soon as you lose connection, that is when you call it. You know, that is when the universe sends the signals for you to shut the drone off. You send me what got your shot, and that is it. Go home. No, in my mind, I was hell bent on getting the full entire circle all the way around. So here I was trying to push the boundaries of what I considered my awesome drone flying skills, which, keep in mind, this is only my 4th or maybe 5th flight, right? So that can speak for what I've accomplished so far. Yeah, so here's my 3rd attempt. I'm not even gonna voice over anything. I'm just gonna let you see it. Actually, scratch that. I'm gonna voice it over. As you see, I started back at the beginning, right in front of the train yard. I lined up my camera, turned on the frames, and like the cross frame, the box and stuff, and made sure everything's straight. Made sure all my settings are good, and then I started. I headed left as I did every single time, and as I was making my way around the entire train yard circle, I was like, oh shit, okay, this is a shot, I got it this time. And sure enough, I did get it. Only now the obstacle that was in my way was unfortunately the Scotiabank Arena. So as I was making my way around the circle, I passed the entire half circle, and I was like, okay, let's just continue. Let's just keep going and make the full circle all the way around, right? Because you don't want to stop from 0 to 50, right? You want to go from 0 to 100 and stop, and then finish, and then call it a day, and you're like, awesome, I got the footage I want, I got everything I want. That day was a success. Yeah, so as soon as I wrapped around that rec room, like water tower kind of sign, I again lost connection with my drone, as my RC lost connection and started beeping saying, okay, we don't know where the drone is. Start to panic and panic and panic. And if I didn't capture this on video before, when that happens, or when the battery's low or the battery's out, like 0, your controller starts beeping like crazy, okay? It sounds like there's a bomb going on. Like if I still have the controllers. I can insert the audio clip of it beeping like crazy. So as soon as the RC loses connection with the drone, it just starts beeping like there's no tomorrow. It's like boop 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 in a very high pitched sound. Keep in mind, we're sitting in like I would say the field, right, like on the left side of the train yard. And there was hell of people just walking by and just like enjoying their day, going about their day, and enjoying their Sundays, you know, just enjoying the vibe of that day, okay? So all they hear is this loud beeping sound coming from me and Wesley, which was right beside me at the time. And I'm just like, oh fuck, I'm so... the drone probably is flying back to me. So this drone is a GPS drone, which means it has auto return to home. So as soon as it loses connection from the remote controller, after a couple seconds, it will start rising up and then heading straight back to the home point where it took off, right? So I was like, okay, yeah, the drone's okay, and it's gonna return to home. Everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna come back. And so I wasn't panicking. Wesley wasn't panicking. He thought I just had low battery, which maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I have no clue, as I didn't record the screen. So yeah, at that time I was like, all right, let's just sit tight and cross your fingers, hope for the best, and wait. So 1 minute passes by. I'm still chilling. I'm like, all right, I have trust in this drone. 2 minutes pass by, and I'm like, all right, I'm getting a little worried about. I'm a little worried right now. 3 minutes pass by, and I'm just like, all right, where in the world is this drone? I don't see it in air. Did I set my return to home height so high that it goes up into the sky and it's lowering itself? I don't know, because at this point the RC, the remote control, is still disconnected. I have no connection to the drone. I don't know where it is. It's just beeping like crazy. Okay. All right, so keep in mind, this is like the 5 to 6 minute mark. So I'm sitting there with the remote control, still beeping like crazy, and I'm just like, all right, trembling, anxiety building. Okay, I don't know what to do, and yeah, there was just a lot of shit happening at the moment. Everyone walking by was just looking at me, because why else when you look when you hear this sound? So at that point, I decided, okay, let's get up and start looking for the drone. So I got up. I told Wesley, okay, my drone disconnected. I'm gonna go look for it, and he was like, okay, I'll watch this up. I start walking towards the CN Tower, the Scotiabank, because the good thing about these drones is they have GPS, which means when you lose it, the GPS will show you the coordinates or the location of where it was last seen. So I pulled up this feature on my phone. The last coordinates or location that the drone was seen or registered was near the Scotiabank Arena. All right, and it showed, and it's very precise too, because like you can open it up in Google Maps, and Google Maps has Street View, right? So you can see the buildings, you can see all that. So it showed a little point where it said, okay, last located, last coordinates, and it was right beside the Scotiabank Arena. So as soon as I saw this on my map, I just started running, right? I started running full blast to that location. I started using the GPS and like following it like I was looking for, I don't know, treasure or something, right? So like X marked the spot. That was what I was looking for. I make my way to the point where it told me to go, and lo and behold, I don't think I can do that. Give me 1 moment to regroup, please. Lo and behold, somebody had picked up the drone and was just turning around looking for the owner and stuff like that. Alright, so me being on the opposite side of the street, I saw this guy looking around, holding something in his hand, like it was broken, obviously. And so I darted across the street, didn't care about traffic whatsoever. I just ran for it, okay? Genuinely, I should not have done that, but in the moment, things go to hell. So I ran across the street. I was like, yo, that's my drone, I think. And he was like, oh shit, is this yours? What happened and shit, right? I was like, I don't know. 1 second I was flying it. I got the epic shot that I wanted. And the next second, my video feed goes blank. My remote controller just loses connection whatsoever. And it's like, oh crap. So another guy came up and he was like, oh shit, I saw that drone. A bird just scooped in and it hit the arena's wall on the side, and it just like crashed, slid down, and landed on the pavement, right? So this is the story that I really don't know, because I was like far away to get in the shot, and I was like, all right, I got this shot. Let's push it. Let's keep pushing it, and let's just get the shot done.
I just want to go at home and crawl.
So yeah, I have two scenarios as to what happened. First scenario would be using the eyewitnesses account of what happened. A bird came in, thought it was another bird, and started attacking it, and it just, kabloosh right into the side of the Scotiabank Arena wall. Second scenario is I myself did not look at how much space there was between that rec room side and Scotiabank Arena. Like, yeah, there was a whole street, but keep in mind when you're doing orbits, right? You're not locked on the rail. You're kind of drifting backwards or forwards depending on your control. So my second theory is my fault exclusively. The first theory is nature and the birds' fault. Okay. Second theory is me being my throttle was really drifting me backwards, so I wasn't aligned with like the road. I was more so aligned with the sidewalk, and which put me into the trajectory of the Scotiabank Arena. So those are my two theories, and yeah, that is what ended up happening. At the end of the day, just check your surroundings before you fly, and if there's hella birds in the area, if there's a hella antennas and radio frequencies and like signals going here and there, and you already lose connection once, listen to the goddamn universal sign and just call it a day, as I should have. Right now, I'm gonna get the other camera angle out, and we're just gonna do a damage assessment, as ever since that day, I kind of just shoved it gently back in its carrying bag, and I just locked it up in my closet and just never looked at it again. And so today I have it here in my bag. We're gonna open it up and we're gonna go through a damage assessment and discuss next steps and what I'm gonna do about it. So here's the bag that contained, this is like the casket of my drone, and yeah, this is all that remains. So let's just open it up. Oh shit, you already see it. Oh, it's bad. All right, so we're gonna open it up even more and reveal the damage. All right, so as you can see, it's not looking good. It's like in tons of pieces. There's more pieces in the bag, so give me a second. So we're gonna set that down there. There's more pieces coming. All right, so we got the gimbal cover. We got a motor, like an absolute separated motor. Yeah, so that's that. We got, I don't know what that is. I think this is the gimbal housing. Like this is where the gimbal rests. Like you can see it totally snapped off there. We have the battery cover, which I think can be put back on. It's just a little clip like this, so I think that's okay. Like, I don't know what this black piece is. I assume something, a piece of the motor or a piece of the gimbal. And we have the body's side casing shot. So upon impact, this drone kind of smashed into a million pieces. Like the front assembly of this drone smashed into a million pieces. We gathered what we could find on the ground, and this was all that was there. I'm not sure if there are missing parts, as I wasn't too familiar with how the drone's put together and stuff like that. So this is another piece of the motor. Not sure where this goes, but yeah, that's that. That is everything we're able to salvage. So we have the main body of the drone, which obviously the gimbal is still hanging on by its wires, which the gimbal has a huge hole in it. It's really scratched up and stuff like that. Next comes the frame, and the frame is still being held on by this wire or string of some kind. I have no clue what that is. But as you can see, okay, let's just unfold the arms. Yep, the arms broke off, as the shell obviously broke off too. This arm looks like it was unscathed. This is like the surviving arm. You know, this is a camera angle that you want to see. Nothing happened. It's still very brand new. It's good to go. Joking. The back arms. This one is kind of jacked up. It's really hard. Like you're not supposed to have a lot of pressure on these, and it's supposed to swing out really nice, but this one's kind of stuck. There you go. So that is that. It's supposed to look something like this, right? Yeah, even this front arm I can't even put back in. There's clearly where maybe the bird impacted it. I don't know how like this puncture happened, because it hit itself on this side. Like it went into the wall like this, and the wall was over here. It went like that. So I don't know how it got punctured this side. So the theory of the bird attacking it makes sense somewhat, because there's a huge puncture hole here, and not a crash like that shouldn't affect this side, as it should have affected the side on this, which is it's totally clean on this side. The battery trays popped out. Some of the circuit boards are popped out as well. I'm not sure. We disconnected the battery obviously as soon as we found it, and that was that. As you can see, the motor that was on this side totally ripped off or sheared itself off, and yeah, it looks like an FPV motor, which it's not supposed to. It's not supposed to be on its own like this. And propellers for this is still pretty somewhat good. I might salvage that. Propellers for this side, just a few minor abrasions, but oh, this one's terrible. That one's savable. I might take the screws out too. Those are savable. These propellers are perfect. So yeah, the surviving arm, the propellers and everything are perfect, so I might take that. This arm motor came off, but at least the wires held in place. But we did lose, we did shear off the full entire, what is this? Oh, that's not a part. Okay, we did shear off an entire propeller. I don't know where that went. It might have exploded into a million pieces. Yada, yada, yada. The list of possibilities have gone. So we picked up everything we could, all the pieces that we could find. There were a couple incidents where we picked up stuff that we thought was a part of the drone and wasn't. Never doing that again, but yeah, this is what remains of the drone. It could have been way worse and things like that. So moving forward, the lesson I learned from today is check your surroundings before you fly. Don't get cocky with your flight skills. As expert and professional as your skill is, and how many flight hours you have logged into your drone flying, there's always the possibility of something will go wrong. During this week, I have been doing numerous research on next steps of what occurs after you crash your drone. So yeah, that was ultimately the story of what happened that day, and as soon as I get word about what is the next steps from DJI, as I'm gonna try and attempt to open a ticket and submit it and hopefully get the drone repaired or replaced, I will put together a video on my experience with DJI repair, and then we'll go from there. I got tired, so I'm just gonna stand. So to close out the video, leave a like. One like equals one prayer, and rest in peace for the drone. And yeah, let's just do a moment of silence for the drone, please.